This is another series on keeping your car going, and this particular one was I was looking for, it was an armrest for my 450 SLC. This is 75, and it's a W107 chassis. And basically in this particular car, when I had it in high school, I purposely had a neighbor build, it was like a center console so I could put my cell phone in it. I took the armrest out, and the car ended up being in storage. And to make a long story short, I got the car back. It's been a few years now. I left the wooden box. It was still in there. But now everyone has handheld cell phones, including with this YouTube clip is being made on. It's like an old iPhone. Well, here's the story. I went through eBay, bought a couple of armrests, and finally found one that actually fit the car, even though I ended up buying another seat, just so I made sure I absolutely had the correct piece. And what we're doing today is this is going to be the driver's side armrest that goes in the center console, and this is what they look like in the car. I had a guy in Pasadena actually made the cover for me, but just to give you a basic synopsis, what you would do in one of these is there's a Phillips screw that's in the bottom. It's actually for this piece here. You unscrew it, you pull this piece off, and then behind it you're going to find there's like another metal clip similar to this, and this one just shows more or less where the seat's in here. But if you were to take this off, there's two screws that actually hold the top half of the seat onto the frame on the bottom. And anyway, I'll deal with this in a little bit. So what I found is when you go to eBay, again, I did this. Somebody sold me this armrest, and this basically is not to the car. It's not a 107 because the indention and the side. Also, there's a screw and then a place that you put a nut on, and then in here there's like a bolt you put in. So this would be for more of like a 123 chassis, like the 300D that's back there. It also would fit on some of your like 450 SELs, anything but a 107 chassis. What I also did was I bought this. I'm gonna put this one up. I bought this one on eBay, which is probably going to go back because I don't need two armrests. And this is actually a correct sample of what the whole armrest should look like. And I bought this just specifically so we could do this video. So if you do see one that's like this, you're on the right step. And what it is you have the piece here that is attached to the styrofoam, and here you have basically a piece that you unscrew, and all this would come apart. And again, the foam on this is in excellent shape. And if you're buying a cover for one of these, you'll want to disassemble this to actually slide your cover on. And then this is the most important part, is this is the bracket that actually goes on the seat. As you can tell, this one is pretty close. I mean, it's a hair off, but it's pretty much the exact same one. Maybe just a little wider. And the one that I needed for this particular car was exactly like this. Anyway, to make a long story short, what it is there are Mercedes in these particular years took a bunch of different brackets and all came down to where they still had two bolts that hold the armrest in place. And it is back behind here, and it basically will sit exactly like this, if you would put it back behind. And there's a couple of, they're like Phillips head bolts that you unscrew that and you put this back in, and there's a plate, and you slide this up between this other plate that actually holds the seat in, and then your armrest will go in the exact same place. This is a finished product. There's like a little zipper that's in the back. and you will have to have somebody that will disassemble the armrest. I had this one put in the leather, so I had someone that basically disassembled the armrest that's in there that's exactly like this, even though this was out of a beige color interior. But basically, and then they slid it on. They already had the cuts. Then the leather goes around the edges here. It also tucks on the inside, and then there's like a zipper piece that's here. Anyway, that's the whole topic of this. Was again, if you see these armrests for a 107 and your car does not have one, this is what it's supposed to look like. Thanks again. I realize we're right before when Santa Claus is supposed to be coming to everybody's city for their families. So Merry Christmas. Hope you have a fabulous new year, and we'll talk to you the first part of 2015. Thank you very much. I hope this helps.